Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it because you'll have no choice. It's time!
Welcome to the Probably Wrong Podcast. Tony, Mike, Dave. We're on fire today. I feel it.
That's good. You know what? Every week it fascinates me how well you've timed up the intro.
I just watched a little video.
And you're not even listening to it. Like with the gong and everything in the background, you really...
A little bit of luck.
I mentioned it last week, and this week you did it again. It was good.
Yeah. Maybe I'll play the lottery tonight.
It's almost like you can hear it.
Yeah. At this age, I can't hear much anymore anyways.
So last week, the pickleball talk kind of took off. I got a few texts. I'm in.
I'm telling you, people want to play. I want to teach.
The wife's like, can I get in on this?
100%. Because I feel like the first time we play, it'll be a little bit more of a learning experience. I can teach you the rules, where to stand, because there's different placements that you stand based on who's serving. And we can grab a group of people, even if we're not all on the court, we can kind of go over, switch people in and out. That way people almost like a teaching session.
And I saw you had your valiant return this week to the court.
I was hoping to play one game. I played for 82 minutes.
Woo!
Burned roughly 900 calories. I wore a brace on my quad, and I played at about 70%. I didn't want to... A few balls I almost went for. I'm like, no, because I can feel it. It's very, very tight. And I don't want a 3-month injury. So I'm going to try to play again tomorrow. I might be pushing my luck a little bit, but I love the sport so much that I can't stay away.
And it must be like the algorithms or everything picking it up. But the other day, I shouldn't have said because it wasn't my phone; it was my TV. There was this pickleball on TV.
It was Andre Agassi and his wife, Steffi Graf. Are they married?
That's what it is. I don't know.
Steffi Graf, she was a pro tennis player, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and they were playing Roderick in another. So it was past tennis greats, and they were bashing the shit out of the ball. It was fantastic.
Couples match.
I was like, this is on TV. This
is
incredible.
Yeah, and it's on ESPN, so I'm like, dude, this is going to take off. Kind of like the World Series of Poker. Remember that took off?
Yeah.
I think pickleball is going to be next.
Doesn't Brady own a stock in something with the pickleball? He owns a team or something.
I don't know.
There's something I know for a little while. I mean, it was like the hot thing. A lot of guys were buying up pickleball teams or putting money into the sport because they felt it was going to be the big thing.
And it's going to be the big thing.
I can't wait for the warmer weather. I can't wait to get out there.
Oh, it's going to be fun. You're going to be addicted really quickly. If you have any,
I thought you were about to say you're going to be a dickhead.
You are. You're currently a dickhead, so we're not really. That's not going to change. But any kind of fire that you have inside that maybe hasn't been unleashed in about 20 years because we don't play sports anymore. Oh, it comes out, and it comes out fast.
Yeah, and I'll go back to the algorithm. So, like when the obviously the phone listens to us. A lot of people play this that aren't really in any shape at all, and I'm like, wow, it gives me hope.
Yeah, and I play with a guy. He's 85, right? He's a retired FBI agent. He can't move that well, but he's a very good pickleball player because he's learned how to slice it wherever he wants to slice it, and he has you running all over the place. So where he lacks in his mobility, he makes up for in his ability to control the ball. So even if you're not a great athlete, in time, you can still be good at it. It's awesome.
That's what I noticed with these guys. I'm like, whoa, these guys are old, heavy, and out of shape, and they just were having fun, but that ball going back and forth.
Oh, it's flying.
It just gave me so much hope watching these much older, out of shape men going, there's a chance that I could pick this up.
Right, and you know what's great about it, too? It's something that we could play for the next 30 years of our lives.
Yeah.
You know, we can't play basketball. Are you kidding me?
We'll see.
Yeah. With the exception of Dave, it's something that we could play for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I might get through like one game and be like, all right.
No, I think you will surprise yourself because it's a lot of like short bursts, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just stay away from the Red Bull vodkas while playing, please.
Yeah.
Do us all a favor.
I haven't had any of those in a while, so.
Hey, speaking of fat and out of shape.
Dave? I'm just kidding. Tina's going to be bullshit. Tina's going to be bullshit. I'm sorry, Dave. I mean, it's just a joke.
Dave Devers.
Dave Devers.
Yeah. Raphael Devers coming into.
Tina's going to be so mad. It was just such an easy.
It was an easy one.
It was a little pitch down the middle, and I swung for the fences.
I don't know. What are we doing here, Mike?
Hey, God, I mean, just follow the script, Tony. Follow the script. It's right there for you. All right, Raphael Devers is fat.
Dude, how do you...
how do you show up like that?
Especially when you get a guy that's coming in who's one of the best third basemen in the league. You knew all year that they were going after, or a lot of talks with Nolan Arenado.
To upgrade your defense.
Yep.
At third base especially.
Yep. And here's the thing, too. I work with a lot of women that are trying to get in shape. They have weight to lose, and they're doing well. But these women, they're
women?
What?
You said these women?
Women that I work with. They're feeding their kids. They're working their job. They're doing laundry. They have like a full life. So life gets a little hectic. Raphael Devers, you're making $30 million a year. What's your excuse?
He's got a personal chef.
He's got a personal chef. He's not doing laundry. He's not doing his grocery shopping. He's not doing anything besides eating.
And this is his life.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, I get it. The single mom, like, yeah, life gets tough and you kind of lose your way 100%. I feel for them. But Raphael Devers, come on. Like, you're not cooking meals. You're eating meals. You're not cooking them, though.
No. That chef is just cooking fried food.
He's working hard. Yeah. He's working harder than Devers.
Yeah. 8 meals a day.
Oh my God!
He's getting his money worth out of that cook.
His face looked like a circle.
Yeah. It was aggravating me when they were asking him about possibly playing DH, whatever, and he's going no, and his face just shake like the Homer Simpson shake when they touch him and the ripples keep going.
Unbelievable. We saw, last time we saw this with the Red Sox third baseman, it was Pablo Sandoval. Remember him?
Joshua Hoy just brings that up right now.
Yeah, my God. He signed his contract, and then he put on about 50 pounds in an offseason. It was ridiculous.
No, like you are in what I look up statistically across the board for fielding, he is in the top 5 worst defensive third baseman in the league.
For 7 years.
Oh, he is. Over the last 7 years, he is the number 1 worst.
And now you're this fat and out of shape, and you need to be incredibly agile to play the third base.
And here's the thing, too. When you look at his fielding percentage, there's so many balls he can't even get to that other third base. So when you look at his fielding percentage, those are all routine plays. That's a low fielding percentage. It's not like he's Arenado covering all this ground.
And that's the thing. So, to jump around here with Tristan Casas the other day coming out sounding off. No. And when I listened to that, and he was like, whoa, I've seen Devers make some diving plays, 1-knee threes, and this and that. I go, those were routine balls that he's just so bad that he's diving to catch them.
He can't make it routine.
He's down on one knee to throw it because he's out of breath.
He's out of gas. There's nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, and if he's going to refuse to, take a DH role, that's pretty bad. I mean, you're getting paid all that money. You show up like this, I mean, almost like you don't care, and then you think that third base is just yours.
Right.
Yeah. The only defense I have of Devers is he's emotional. He's still kind of a young kid, and this did happen quickly. It's not like Bregman got signed in December.
But here's where I get it that the Bregman thing just happened quickly, but they've been talking about Bregman and Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, but until it happens.
For a while.
I know.
But there had to have been something along the way, like, where's the agent going, hey, they're looking for a third baseman to play the field. You need to...
Or at some point you would hope common sense would kick in and be like, hey, if they're looking at Arenado and Bregman, I'm not going to play third this year.
Right.
But it is kind of new. It finally happened. So I'll give him a pass. He needs to get his head, back on track because he's going to... This is what I hope. I hope he is the DH most of the time. I'd still like to have him play third a few times because, say, Duran has a game where he's running into the wall and runs out 2 triples. I want him to DH the next day. So I'd be okay with Devers maybe playing third twice a week. And then that way, whoever needs a day at DH can get it. I don't want to totally take the glove away from him, but I think you're better off if Tristan Campbell has a great spring training, wins that job. Bregman goes over to third. You have athletes all over the field.
And this all still relies on Trevor Story staying healthy.
Yeah, that's another big piece. Yeah.
Like that is a huge, piece to this that he needs to. We need 130 games out of Trevor Story.
I think if we do lose Story, I think we might be okay because I think we can move Rafaela to shortstop, right? And then we can go with an outfield of Duran, Abreu, and then maybe Roman Anthony comes up.
Yeah.
So I do feel like we're in a better situation this year if we lose
Story
because you can move.
I think it's more of a when with him. And that's not a knock on him. But that's what.
But that's another guy where you might need him to DH everyone. He's not durable enough to play 150 games in the field.
What do you do with Yoshida?
Yoshida's a problem.
Let's just say Devers says, "All right, I'll DH." It sets in, and he realizes, what? If I want to pump my numbers up and be a guaranteed Hall of Famer, DH is the way to go.
Yep.
Only got to concentrate about hitting. Where does Yoshida go?
That's a little bit of a problem because Yoshida is terrible in the field.
Right.
And I think that's part of, once again, getting Devers a few games at third so Yoshida can maybe DH once or twice a week. I'd like to see Campbell not only win that second base job, I'd like to see him be that right-handed bat in the outfield, kind of like when they use Ref Snyder. Yep. I'd say Ref Snyder out. Campbell can also play the outfield, so I wouldn't mind seeing him go from second base to outfield, kind of like Mookie Betts did a little bit last year. And then that way, if he's in the outfield, you can have Bregman at second, and Devers at third, Yoshida. So I like the flexibility of that.
I just think I love the flexibility and everything, but I would really want to see Bregman at third because
best case scenario.
Best case because he is. If we want to do the same thing we talked about fielding with Devers, Bregman is in the top 5 of the league. He's an excellent defensive third baseman.
Gold Glove last year, and top 20 of all time.
Right.
Defensively. Oh, great. The people that haven't seen him, they're going to be like, this guy is just a natural baseball player.
I know a lot of people hate him because of the Houston Astros thing. To me, honestly, that never really bothered me. I could have cared less. Let them all cheat. It made it interesting. It didn't take away from. He's a hell of a ball player.
Yeah, he's going to be a Boston guy. He's going to be a Boston guy.
He's going to be the Boston guy that we hoped Trevor Story would be.
Yeah, it's very similar. Like hard-nosed, it's just Story gets hurt all the time.
Yep.
Like O'Neill.
O'Neill, similar. Yeah. Trot Nixon, similar. And I think, especially after these first few days of Devers kind of being like pouty, Casas kind of mouthing off, this is why Cora wanted Bregman.
And who comes out and says the right thing to the media?
Bregman! But he can't say anything to those guys yet. Give him a month or two here, and they're winning games. He's going to be the heart of this team, and then he'll be able to put Casas in his place.
When do you move on from Casas?
As soon as you can get value.
Yeah. He just seems to be such a pain in the ass.
You need to pump that guy up, feed his ego. He needs to come out there just bawling because you need to sell. Like, you can't have this guy in a slump and then dump him because he is talented.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
You know what I mean?
He just doesn't want to be in Boston.
Yeah. He's not made for the Boston media either because he says a lot of dumb things. I'd like to see him packaged at the All-Star break with another prospect. And I would say, let's not wait for Vladimir Guerrero to hit free agency, trade for him now.
Yeah, bring him here now.
And then sign him. That way, let him fall in love with Boston, sign him.
So rolling back here, we talking about guys trading away. Jake brings up Roman Anthony is going to be a stud.
Maybe a few years away, though.
But he's a person I wouldn't mind selling. Right now, sell high on that guy.
Oh, I'd hate to miss on it, though. I'd hate to do it because... I'd hate to, unless you brought back Vlad Guerrero.
That's what I was. Yeah. Sorry, I should have been more specific.
It depends on the piece you bring in there. Right?
Yeah,
if you're bringing Guerrero back,
but you bring in Vlad Guerrero and you have to sign him for the 10 years. But I don't even know. Come the break, how much value does Vlad Guerrero have? He's not going to sign in Toronto. I don't think you need to give up Roman Anthony.
I think people want to trade for him for a sign and trade. So that way they can lock him up and not have to deal with free agency.
Yeah. I think that was the old way to do it. Juan Soto just proved that that's not.
Yeah, I feel like baseball. They don't do that very often.
Yeah, they don't. They're not doing that anymore. The Sox did it with Pedro. It's not happening like that. They're kind of waiting until they hit. You just hope he falls in love with like Boston, and I think Boston loves its like Dominican players.
Especially guys who can still speak.
He can speak, and he's very likable. I'd love to see the 2-3 in the lineup being Devers and Guerrero. Oh God,
yeah,
that'd be.
They're not bad. I mean, I love Duran, and I think every year he gets a little bit better. And he's a guy that I think, as he continues to get better at hitting the ball, he's going to mash right along with them.
Yeah, but I see him as more of like a Johnny Damon type.
See, I think he's going to be. I think he's got more home run power. Than
I do too. But there's something about Devers and Guerrero.
Oh, they're on a different level.
Yeah, they're scary. Yeah. Like there's about 15, 20 scary hitters in all of baseball. And it's tough when you have two of them. When the Red Sox had Manny and Ortiz.
Well, look at the Yankees had 3 of them.
Yeah, Dodgers have 3 of them now.
Yeah.
But it puts so much pressure on the pitchers to focus on every single pitch. And then you get to like Kevin Millar, Mike Lowell. Those guys are tearing it up. So I think I love Duran. I think he's going to be great. But I think there's something different about certain batters that really make the pitchers have to throw pitches under stress every single time. How do you like that, Dave? I think this coffee's working. I feel a little fired up.
But it's just we have the potential to have so much pop in this lineup, especially if, I hate to keep bashing, I'm not really bashing, but bringing it back to Trevor Story, there's a guy who has some pop, especially in this field.
Yep.
Bregman can still hit the ball, especially in this field.
Yep.
Duran. Casas
Casas can do 35.
Yeah.
And everyone else can do 20 to 25. So they're going to score runs. This is going to be a good team. I feel like for the first time in years, we're actually going to have a baseball season. I'm excited about this.
They seem like they've actually, without spending a ton, they put together a pretty good roster that should compete. And it kind of feels like they're maybe overloaded, like you were saying with Yoshida. Where does he fit in if you put Devers at DH? And you can't sit there and rotate those two. You want Devers in there.
Yes.
Every game.
Yep.
Or at least 150 of those games, especially if he's only DHing. And then you want Bregman at third base probably 95% of the time. And if Trevor Story can stay healthy, you're happy with what he produces, but that's a big if.
It's a big if.
It hurts. He's got the talent. He just can't. I don't know. It's like
he's getting older.
Everything he does, he gets hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I did on DraftKings 2 days ago? I put in my playoff and World Series Red Sox bet. Because I felt if this team stays healthy, all you got to do is get into the playoffs, and then anything can happen.
If they stay healthy, they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the over-under on Story.
There wasn't
games played.
And the thing is, with this pitching staff, if they're healthy, and you go Crochet, it looks like it's going to be Crochet, Houck, Bale, Wakabula.
Yeah.
And then you got Cutter Crawford and Giolito. 6 starters.
Yep. Sean just brings in, this is a long season. The pitching staff needs some help too. I think the part of the pitching staff that needs the help is the middle relief. And I think that you have a 6-man rotation. What I'd like to see, and I know it's not going to happen because he's playing for a contract, but Wakabula is that guy.
Yeah,
he is that guy.
Yeah, he signed a 1-year deal.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. He's playing for the contract, so we're probably not going to see that. But he is.
And middle relief doesn't make you any money.
Right. I know. I'm just saying. If he would suck, it's not going to happen. But we need that kind of player in that could pitch 5 innings, 4 innings, and he can be solid.
Garrett Whitlock is going to be in the bullpen now.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like that guy, and it's weird. Middle relief, it's kind of like I was going to say field goal kickers, but maybe even more. Like, it's so hit or miss with these middle relief. Like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these guys sometimes just have great years. Like, you never know what you're going to get out of the middle relief guys. So sometimes they all suck, sometimes they're all great, and you never know what to count on.
And we have 2 studs coming out to save the games.
If Liam Hendricks is healthy, that's big. You got Chapman, and then you have Garrett Whitlock is...
No, wait. We still have a Chapman.
Chapman, Hendricks, Chapman.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Which is...
Yeah.
I thought you said some other name.
Chapman and then Whitlock. So they lost Chris Martin, they lost Kenley Jansen. But you know what? If they feel like they need help, at the trade deadline, you're winning games. There's always closes available.
Yeah,
always.
But I think we have that position. So it's just the long relief in the middle. I think we could use a couple more.
But those guys are often available too.
Yeah.
Right? So, no, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm not even a big Red Sox fan, but I'm very excited.
We haven't timed it back, Josh. The first real season since the World Series title. A couple other people chimed in.
Well, there was the year they lost to the Astros. They're up 3-2. Yeah. No, they're up 2-1 maybe against the Astros. What was that, 2021?
That was the year we weren't supposed to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, and we did. Yeah. So that was a great season, but Josh is right. 2018, and then that, and then that's it.
Nope. I'm just happy it's here.
Yep.
What did you say? Let me play the music because we have a day away here. Well, I did the whole intro.
Oh, great.
I can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to see what my Dodgers do. I can't wait to see how Soto fits in with your Mets.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Yeah. You're not happy about that?
I'm happy about it, but they're batting him second. He's going to get walked a ton. Like, you got Pete Alonso batting 240 behind him.
Where's Lindor batting?
1.
So you're gonna pitch to Lindor, walk Soto, and then have Alonso
pop up to third.
There you go.
I'm telling you, Soto's going to walk 150 times. Yeah, and he's not going to get pitches to hit. They need another bat. I kept saying this. You need another bat. They have their 6 through 9 is so weak that
they couldn't afford it. They spent it all on Soto.
Yeah. And they're still paying Scherzer and Verlander.
That was, oh my God, those contracts are horrible.
Yeah, it didn't work out well.
No, it's crazy. The Mets, I feel like Soto made a mistake going there. He felt like he had the best chance to win going to.
I don't think it was the best chance to win.
It was about the money.
I think that's all he wanted. Because this guy already won a championship with the Nationals, got traded to the Padres. If he wanted the best chance to win, he would have stayed with the Yankees.
Probably should have.
Yeah.
Or
the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about it too. Like, or he could have stayed with the Padres because they were good.
Or even if he signed here, I think he's got a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
He's protected in that lineup.
He just wanted the money.
Yeah. But
whatever. Whatever. That's what you want the money. You got the money.
Yes, Joshua Hoy chimes in here. This Sunday, David is going to be at the New England for the Lobby Card Show.
All right.
Down in Smithfield, Rhode Island, with his very own table. He's going to be selling his own
supply.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
So make sure you go down there, check him out.
Come on down, yeah. Take some of my stuff off my hands.
He's going to have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that's getting pried out of his hands to get put on that table.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And we talk about it all the time. It is a great show. He's got every table sold out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be busy.
Show. Should be really good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm anxious, nervous a little bit.
Nervous about what?
I don't know. I've never sold cards like this before.
Stand behind a table with cards. What's there to be nervous about? What do you think? You're going to war?
Well, no,
selling baseball cards.
I want
a hobby for crying out loud.
I'm hoping to sell most of them, but
if you don't, your life doesn't change.
What are you nervous about?
There's nothing to be nervous about.
I'm
interacting with multiple people?
No, I'm not nervous about that. No, just like
people asking for your autograph from the show?
Am I gonna actually sell anything? That's the biggest thing.
If you don't, you don't.
If you don't, you get to keep your collection.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I
get nervous like driving over
collection,
Like if something goes wrong, I could end up in the water.
Do you? I don't worry about that.
If something goes wrong, what happens? You just take your cards home.
I don't want to take them home though.
Yeah.
Everything's priced to go. So, Dave, what is, for the people out there, what is some of the top cards that you're going to be selling?
I've got some PSA graded stuff like Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson that are, the Garrett Wilson's like a numbered to 25 card. I mean, not big money, but
nobody wants.
I'm going to get rid of.
You're not going to sell any cards.
I'd be nervous.
I'd be nervous too.
I got the Brady stuff, and then I've actually. So when we went the last time, I didn't see a lot of people selling hockey stuff. So I got a bunch of hockey stuff I'm going to put out there. Not that it's going to move, but you never know. People might be looking for hockey. And like I said, I didn't really see much there.
You bringing out the Brady rookies?
I'm holding on to that one right now.
So the only card that would actually sell, you're going to hold on to, and you're like, the hockey cards don't move, so I'm going to bring all my hockey cards. And then you're like, I'm nervous, I'm not going to sell any cards. Like,
I got some
well,
pretty
I can see
decent.
why.
I got some decent hockey cards.
You got your golf cards on the table. You know,
But well, we'll see.
The WNBA cards coming out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to go. I think you need to go help them.
I won't be nervous.
I don't know. Just don't drink a coffee when you.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't be drinking coffee. I remember I used to do presentations, and people were like, "Wow, he's kind of rough." I'm like, I don't feel like I'm a rough person in real life, but when I'm caffeinated, it's a different story.
like Dave with the Red Bull.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden, he's a basketball analyst.
Ethan chimes in. Providence is a big hockey city. You'll be good.
Yeah, I hope.
Joshua says the hockey you'll be bringing back home.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, you never know.
You know what you should maybe do? Providence is also a big, like, stripper city. So if you hire a stripper chick to stand behind you at the table, that'll bring everybody over.
This kid's there.
They'll come over too.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll sell some of those hockey cards.
Every hockey card, a piece of clothing gets peeled away.
Yeah. Get a little lap dance from Susie over here.
Yeah, the parents will be over there. But
Yeah, I don't think Tina would like it.
Speaking of hockey, did you watch any of this USA Canada?
I kind of turned it on, but it was a little late. But I'll tell you what. This USA versus Canada, that's the most my inbox has ever popped when it comes to hockey. Never, ever, ever has it popped like that.
All because of this big premeditated fight that they put out.
Whatever it was, people are talking about it, and people were excited about it.
I liked it better before I knew that they had like the group text message and they were planning it and doing what I liked it. Thinking it was like a spur of the moment kind of thing.
Okay, so the USA guys were connected with the Canada guys.
No, they were all together. Not the Canada guys. The Canada guys are saying we didn't know anything about it. It was a big surprise to us, of course, because Canada guys, they're not trustworthy people.
Sam Bennett and Matt Tkachuk are teammates. And Sam Bennett ends up fighting Brady Tkachuk.
But like a day before, they were planning it, what they were going to do. At least the Tkachuk brothers and what's his name, JT Miller, who they were going to fight, what they were going to do.
All right, but they can plan it. That's fine. As long as they're not in cahoots with Canada, then it's like WWE kind of crap.
That's different. If they were just talking between each other, like we're gonna fight and this is how it's gonna go, that's one thing. If they were actually talking, like Sam Bennett's like, "Hey Matt, I'll fight your brother just for show. That'll be fun.
You fling me into the ropes and I'll do that." Like, no, that's too much.
But anybody, I like it because it gave it more pop. Because nobody really would have, unless you're a hockey fan, nobody was really paying attention to it. But this fight really brought a lot of notoriety to it, and I just felt that like if it was a little bit more organic and natural, like there was, if it wasn't premeditated, he went out there and just dropped the gloves, and then his brother was like, "Oh, you're gonna fight my brother? Now I'm gonna fight you." Like to me, that had a little bit more to it,
But they were real fights.
Yeah.
They were throwing blows.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't fake a hockey.
So it's not like they were just holding and kind of wrestling. Like they were throwing fights.
Yeah,
throwing bombs. So that I like.
Yeah, it made it interesting right at the beginning, and the game itself was a great game in general. I mean, Charlie McAvoy laid out Connor McDavid with a beautiful hit, and I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to it, but they were saying after the game that McDavid kind of stayed away from McAvoy's side of the ice the rest of the game.
I would too. You guys nailed like that in an All-Star game.
Yeah. And I know I said this to you, but I would trade my entire team to bring Brady Tkachuk to the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
That kid is a freight train. He loves to pick fights. He loves to start shit when he's in little scrums in front of the net. I love the attitude, his willingness to fight, stand up for his teammates, and his hits. Oh my God.
And now he's injured.
Yeah, but he's just a guy that you're like, I'll build my whole team around him. Anyone you want on this Bruins roster?
Gone. We said this before.
See you later.
Way back when we were hoping Allmark was going for him.
Just bring me in Brady Tkachuk, and it'll make the Bruins interesting to watch again. But yeah,
it's the fighting that will make them interested to watch, because that's what I'm telling you. That is the only thing that has brought the notoriety to this game. If you're not a hockey fan, I mean, guys like Tony
in my inbox
would have had no idea.
Kerry Kingman was sending me like reels of the fights.
Yeah.
So obviously, fighting is good for hockey.
100%, and they want to take it out of hockey. They try to take it out.
The Tkachuk brothers are notorious for
the Bash
starting
brothers
shit, and that's what they do in their regular season games. They're out there starting shit, and that's why people enjoy watching them. People enjoy having them on their team, and teams like the Bruins hate playing against them because they always lose to them,
and they're soft.
The best meme, GIF, whatever you want to call it, that I've seen since this is they took the Tkachuk brothers' heads and put them on the Mighty Ducks, the Bash brothers, when they were wearing their USA jerseys and they were hitting everybody around the ice.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It got me fired up.
Yeah.
So Ethan brought in Quinn Hughes. It's not going to be Quinn Hughes. He was in Vancouver practicing.
They couldn't get him in.
Yeah, I think it's what did I say earlier? I think it was Wyatt Johnson.
Wyatt Johnston.
But it doesn't matter. Whoever they bring up, they can't play. They can't play unless somebody else gets injured.
No, this McAvoy injury is huge for this team.
Yeah.
And if Brady Tkachuk doesn't play, I mean, they're not going to beat Canada tomorrow night.
I didn't think they were going to beat Canada anyways. I think it got a little bit. Canada's too good of a team. They have too many stars to get embarrassed twice in a row.
And they didn't have Cale Makar in the first round, the first game. The biggest difference is the U.S. team is deeper, and their goaltending is way better. But Bennington, if he pulls something out of his ass, he gives up a lot of soft goals. That's the only thing. And you can't win. I feel like this is like the Olympics from years ago when they beat them in the quarterfinals and then lose to them in the gold medal game. And this is what it seems to be.
It's funny because everything I read and hear and listen to, these Canada players are pissed off.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're angry.
They're embarrassed.
No, yeah. They're pissed off about everything with the Tkachuk brothers. They're pissed off. They're just angry across the board. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but they're still Canadians.
Yeah, but these Canadians,
very proud hockey players.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow night brings. Right?
Yeah,
tomorrow night.
It is tomorrow night. Yeah, I don't feel confident in the U.S. in
Jay
this
says it feels like they blew their wad in game one. Yeah.
But if they can come out and play like they did in that game, they do have a deeper team. It's just the high end talent of Canada is just so good.
And USA is going to be without two pieces of their high end.
Yeah,
talent,
their high end and the guys that like to hit.
It's still out. It's still out. Brady may still play. It's just he hasn't been spotted on ice.
Yeah.
Since.
But those Canadian, the high end talent, those are the guys that are they're a little softer. They don't like to get hit. And the two guys that might not play for the U.S. are the ones that like to hurt people.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, Matt Tkachuk is still going. He's still a guy that likes to hit people, and I mean, the U.S. is a much more physical team. So we'll see. They can hang with them, and if Hellebuck doesn't poop his pants like he normally does in a playoff style,
you were saying that about Hellebuck the other day.
Yeah,
I was.
One of the best goalies in the world. Yeah. But when
get him under some pressure. Yeah.
So I don't understand. The other night, last night, Thursday night. No, when was it? When did they just play?
Monday.
Monday night.
Yes.
That game didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything.
It's in Boston. Why Swayman not net? I was like, what are we doing here?
They weren't going to play him. That was like Sweden could have played. Was it Sweden that could have played Allmark?
But the game didn't mean anything at that point.
I know, but they would rather put Ottinger out there.
Hey, I don't know. I thought it was. You want to play to your crowd, right?
Yeah. The game was meaningless. It would have meant a lot to him. It would have meant a lot to the city to just throw him out there. Even give him a period. I mean, it's something. But it is what it is. If Hellebuck goes out and poops his pants, you might see Swayman in there. I don't know.
What do you think of what they're going to be booing the anthem, especially with Trump there?
I don't.
Trump's not going to be there.
Oh, they said he's not going to be.
I heard probably about an hour ago that he's not going to be there. He's not scheduled to be there.
Huh.
He was in New Hampshire recently, and I heard it was right before I drove here that he is not scheduled to be there.
I figured that. I mean, it's USA Canada. This is the game that he should be at.
Kind of. The Super Bowl. Let's go here.
I honestly feel like they're not going to boo.
I don't think they're going to boo the national anthem.
No, because it's a lot of because of all the booing that the U.S. national anthems got before this whole tournament started. I think people here are like, you know what? We're going to show them that we're not as big of assholes.
As Bostonians, we're better.
Yeah. Even though we're not
civilized,
we're only doing it to be assholes.
Yeah.
You know? We're not.
We actually hate you, Canadians. Because we're going to pretend like we don't.
We're going to cheer so much just to show you how much we hate you, Canada.
Yeah, they're gonna cheer loudly for the national anthem, and
I think they will.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like years ago the Bruins were playing the Canadians in the playoffs, and that's where they were booing the Canadian national anthem real bad, and it started getting the bad publicity and everything. And the Canadians were cheering on the U.S. national anthem, and
a little role reversal.
So yeah, we're doing a little reversal here. But yeah, we'll see. Is there an over/under on that?
No.
That's probably the only part of the game I'm going to watch, just to see if they boo that. I probably won't even listen to the
watch a minute, see if there's a little fight of it, and then
yeah, that might be it.
But I think overall, this Four Nations tournament,
great, right?
I think it could have been better.
Well,
and by my could have been better is, I mean, come on,
the
they
Russians
played hold on, they played 2 games, and then all of a sudden now you got one that doesn't mean anything. But
that's how those tournaments usually work.
But you need a couple more teams. You can't have nothing games 3 games in.
But then it's longer.
They expected,
I'm fine with that.
They expected Sweden and Finland to put on a better show, and they didn't really. Sweden was not very good in this tournament.
No.
Having a Russian team in there, and you bump out a Sweden or a Finland, now you're talking like that's a team that will put up a challenge against both the U.S. and Canada.
And all of a sudden, this is more exciting than the whole regular season, right?
Right.
If Russia's in it?
Yeah.
That would have been
intense. I would like to see 6 teams. I would like to see that. I think there's enough talent out there to carry 6 teams.
Right, but I don't know if the brackets work as well, because when they do those brackets like that, like the World Cup, it's always groups of 4. So you'd have to have 8 teams.
What?
And then you're talking an extra, week and a half, maybe.
They can figure it out for 3.
Because NBA, when they do their tournament, it's groups of 4, right? I think it always has to be groups of 4, the way they do this style.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're the math guy. Break it down.
Yeah, so...
I just think it would have been more interesting with a Russian team.
100%.
But I think Russia is still getting spankings for the war in Ukraine. So
yeah.
They're not allowed to play in any of these, worldly
wouldn't that be
events.
something, right? With U.S., Canada, Russia.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
to give Ovechkin one last shot at playing in a tournament like this,
it would have been great. It would have.
Yeah.
I mean,
because that right now, where he's chasing Gretzky, and if you had an All-Star game, you get a lot of people that want to see him there because this is probably his last All-Star game. Maybe he plays next year, but you don't know if he actually makes an All-Star game. But right now, he would have. People want to see him there, and you exclude him by having a tournament like this.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Some of the best players in the league are Russian, and they're not getting to showcase it.
What was the other country you mentioned, Dave?
Czech.
Yes.
They get some talent there. I mean, that's Pasternak.
That was the home of Pavel Bure, right? I think
he was
Czechoslovakian, right?
No, he's a Russian.
Oh, he's a Russian.
I thought he was from
The Russian Rocket.
I thought he was... No.
From Vancouver.
From Vancouver, yes, he was. Number 10.
Yeah. The Russian Rocket.
Right. But I think they kind of... I mean,
It's
it
something
could
to
get
build
better.
on.
It could, yes,
It's
it could get
definitely-
better.
yeah.
But it's kind of a home run when my friends that don't watch hockey are sending me reels. That's good for the NHL.
Yep. 100%. And then you get the NBA All-Star game, which completely blew it with the broadcast because it was actually a great game, but they ruined it with all this other crap. Like you go to the hockey games, it's just
Hockey.
That's it. And then the NBA All-Star game tried to make this big event out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is awful because you destroyed it because you actually had for once a good basketball game. You actually had a tournament style where guys were trying, but people just didn't want to keep watching it. They didn't want to listen to Draymond Green friggin' being a tool bag spouting off.
Kevin Hart.
Who I like Kevin Hart, but was not funny.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the players were actually aggravated with him, and it just wasn't working. And
I heard the whole show was like over 3 hours long, and they played like 40 minutes of basketball.
33 minutes of basketball.
All right. And the show was 3 hours long.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So out of 180 minutes, you have 33 minutes of basketball.
Yeah.
No, I'm all set.
No. It was awful. What do you want to say?
Can I answer Paul?
Go ahead.
Did you read that?
Paul Connors?
Yeah.
Dave, why the hell doesn't McAvoy play this hard for the Bruins? Oh, I have an answer for that, too.
I mean, these are meaningful games.
Exactly. You can't play that hard all year anyways. He'll be injured.
And what do you want him to do on the Bruins? Like, what games are you like, oh man, he has to try because they could win this one? The effort from everyone else is so bad. Why does he want to hurt himself every night?
In the playoffs, he's a completely different player though. He plays much harder. You can't play that for 82 games. You just can't anymore. You're dead.
And
sounds like a Boston Celtic.
He's such an intense player.
Foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Just wait till playoff time.
Yep.
He's intense when the competition is that intense, and he's going up against, Canada, the best. These are the best offensive players in the world, and he wants to prove something. When he goes out there on the ice with the Bruins, I mean, what does he have to prove right now? This
on a
team,
Wednesday night against the Utah Hockey Club.
That's how these long seasons are. You kind of go through the motions.
Yeah.
It sucks as fans because we're watching the game, but you get it, especially if they make it to the playoffs and everyone's healthy.
Right. And if he was on a team that was a dominant force that was out there trying to get shutouts every night and just crushing people, it's different. Then the energy's there with everyone, but they come out some nights and just look disinterested.
Like we said earlier this year, we've seen some awful hockey out of the Bruins this year.
So bad. So
remember that night we went out with Paul Connors and we all had a good time, and Paul was like, I'm going to start hanging you out with you guys more often.
Yeah.
Me and Dave have hung out quite a bit after that, and we've never seen Paul Connors.
Haven't seen Paul in a while.
He hasn't been allowed back out.
He hasn't been allowed back out. All right, so this might not be his fault.
It might not be his fault.
All right. Fair enough.
Maybe he'll give us an answer.
Yeah.
But now he did send me a picture a couple weeks ago with some martinis. And he was like, thanks.
No invite? No invite? Just the martini, just the pictures of the martinis.
No.
Yeah. All right.
He said, he's like, you got me hooked. I was like,
they are fun. They are fun.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Right, so. Jay, this is he's talking about the USA. This is a test run for next year because this could potentially be the U.S. hockey team next year.
Yeah.
In the Olympics.
In the Olympics, yeah.
So.
Which I think there's a few pieces they could change. Like Quinn Hughes belongs on this team. Kid's a stud. But, we'll see. Should be interesting.
Now, did you watch any of this NBA All-Star game?
A little bit. After you were talking about how exciting it was, I started watching, it was the Shaq's OGs versus, like, the international team, right?
Yeah. Oh, the championship one.
The championship. And then I saw it before that, too.
The one game that wasn't that interesting because they started off real flat.
Yeah, and it kind of felt like a regular All-Star game. But I did see the up-and-coming stars play
almost beat the OGs.
And that was good, because they're playing.
Yep,
so,
and then the first game, it was the Shaq's... It wasn't the OGs, I'm sorry. It was the European team versus the young guys.
Okay.
But the SGAs and those guys. And that was another really competitive game where guys are playing defense. Wemby's down low making blocks.
Yep,
there was something to lose. These guys didn't want to lose.
Right.
And that end of that game, I think what happened was, the Shaq, the OG guys, the Olympic team, were hot. They just played one game, rolled right into another, and that other team sat and came out a little bit flat, and you can't do that against the Dream Team.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But other than that, I mean, they were playing defense. After the game, Kyrie Irving bringing the trophy, gloating in the losing team's locker rooms.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, that's when I was like, this actually means something.
Yeah.
Because they were pissed that he was in there They were, you know. So I was like, all right, this game actually means something.
I like that they're trying something. I don't like what the NFL does. It's terrible.
No.
But I like hockey. Looks like they might have hit a home run. Basketball feels like we're trying something.
And if they would have cut out all this other crap,
oh God,
I think people would have been like, oh, this is a pretty good game. But but you tune in and you hear Draymond Green spouting off, and I'm like, I think for the most part we've kind of liked Draymond.
Yeah.
But just then to hear him just be being like, oh, the All-Star game, this is, he was completely against this, saying like that rising skills team doesn't deserve to be on this court, doesn't, they can't get these records anymore. I go, dude, Draymond, nobody cares that Tatum scored 55 points last year and with no one plays defense.
Right.
Like, you guys ruined the All-Star game with your lack of defense. Any scoring record means
it's kind
nothing.
Of fake now anyway.
Yeah,
it's all wide open shots and dunks and.
Well, like that year Anthony Davis had it. Like nobody plays defense anyways, but he was just no one cared.
Right.
But this one, people were playing defense. Like they were blocking shots, stealing balls, and at the end of that game, like Kyrie's clamping guys up. Steph Curry go, okay. Like these guys care. You got me, and it's only going to get better if they keep it going.
Keep it going,
So. It was good to see, and it's gotten a lot of bad publicity, and I'm like, if you actually watched the game, it wasn't that bad.
See, part of the problem with sports is people don't watch the games,
right?
But then they criticize. I'm like, you don't even watch the games, and I hate that because, like, as a fan, if you watch it, then you can kind of speak on it, but when you don't watch it, then you can't talk smack. I hate when people are like, oh, basketball nowadays sucks. It was so much better. When Miami used to play New York and it was like an 80-78 game. You haven't watched basketball in 20 years. You don't even know what you're talking about.
You know what I always say to that? It's only better for the nostalgic. Right? Like, yeah, we loved it. Like those Larry Johnson Charlotte Hornet teams, the Bulls.
But was it better?
No, but I'm just saying, like, we have that attachment to it because we're younger.
Because we had the starter jacket?
I don't know. I was deeply embedded in basketball.
Yeah, I was
But
too.
I'm also a basketball fan, and I watch it now going, these guys can't hold a flame to this right now.
Those guys can't hold it.
Right.
No, these guys are way more athletic, way more talented. Like,
and it's just,
and that's in every sport.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think we see it more in basketball. Like, you think of people that played back in the day. I'm like, these guys couldn't play. Rick Mahorn, like, couldn't.
Like, I liked Rick Mahorn.
I did too, but
for what he was back then. But you put him in the league now,
they're gonna have him out on the 3-point line trying to cover.
He's gonna be standing over like you the other night at pickleball.
Yeah. He's gonna be
gassed.
Yeah. No, it's a much more athletic game.
And again, that just by saying that you like sports now doesn't take away from what sports was when you were growing up.
Yeah.
Like that was a golden time for then.
But everything evolves.
Right.
I mean, think about Atari being the first video game system.
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten better. It's gotten a little bit better. Like, everything evolves over time.
I mean, hockey sticks used to have a straight blade on them, wooden sticks. Now they went to the curve, then they went to an aluminum stick. Now they get these, I don't even know what the hell they are now, that
I was
shatter.
in Dick's the other day, right?
Yeah.
And I picked up these new hockey sticks.
They weigh nothing.
It was like it was holding nothing. Exactly,
Yeah.
Dave. It was like I was holding not even
crazy.
it was lighter than a pool stick.
And they're like $400, $500, $600.
That was the other thing. I go, how'd you? I go, God, my kid Dalton, you're never playing hockey.
Yeah.
We could never with the amount of the sticks and the pads and the gloves.
Yeah,
God love
never
the
mind
parents.
4 a.m. ice time.
Oh, man.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Luckily, the
parents do it.
kids don't break the sticks as much as the pros do. And I was lucky. My son never broke a stick. So
But your son, you're still what 5 or 6 years removed from him playing, right?
yeah, it's been a while.
Sticks were $400 then.
I was buying $80, $90 sticks, but I was getting the ones on the clearance rack.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Nope.
Yeah.
He was happy with the name on the stick as long as they said Bauer or one of those CCM. So
Ridiculous.
yeah, the skates, $1,000, $1,200 for a pair of skates. It's
I can
crazy.
still remember when I was younger, we all used to play pond hockey. And I was like, oh, I need a pair of skates. My mother bought me skates, bought me and my sister skates. I was the only guy out there with black figure skates on the hockey rink. But you know what? I'm like, I got to play.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
play with these guys.
Yeah.
Lace them up.
Lace
You
them
know?
up.
I could do a quick little toe pick.
Yeah, like Brian Boitano.
Yeah.
I had the double-bladed figure skates.
Oh, you did too? Mine with the single blade. Single blade.
No, I had the double blade to start, and then
Hey, maybe we'll see you guys as a duo in the next Olympics.
Was that Blades of Glory?
Yeah.
Yep, I can still remember that. But I still got out there every time, laced up those, shined up my figure skates, laced them up, got out there.
Yeah.
That's the only time I could ever stop, because I can't stop on the ice. But that toe pick really slowed me down.
Yeah. How so?
Jay Fields chimes in, graphite shafts. Ethan Medeiros chimes in, Cooper Flagg will fix the NBA. Hopefully he plays like Wemby does and actually really tries.
Yeah, I like Cooper Flagg. I just think it's going to take him a little bit of time. He's great.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't see him being a top 5 player. I think he's like that next level. Top 5 player overall in the NBA.
I mean, I think he'll be there. He's tall. He's like he's a white Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I know. I just think there's too many good players still. I think he's going to be good. I think he's. But you're talking about better than Wemby, better than Tatum, better than Giannis, better than
time. I'm not saying he's going to come out that way.
Yeah, but I think in time there'll be other younger guys that come out. I like Cooper Flagg.
He doesn't look as fragile.
Right, he's tough.
Some of these
He's
big
tough.
guys.
He's tough. He almost plays like he's 6'7".
Yeah,
he doesn't play like he's 7 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, and that could be a huge difference for him. Because when you look at Durant, you look at Wemby, they're kind of like just scrawny.
Yeah. They're not as tough. And maybe I'm knocking him a little bit because he's white, and I think he's like maybe inferior when it comes to athletic ability, and we don't really know yet. Like maybe that. Maybe that's just my brain thinking he's not as quick as the other guys.
Yeah,
isn't he from Maine too?
From Maine.
Yep.
I mean,
so then you wonder whether or not he has all his teeth. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. But yeah, having a great freshman season, going to be the number 1 pick overall. Yeah, ironically,
he's talked about staying in school.
You can't stay. You got to take the payday. You
Yeah.
got to take the payday. If you're going to be the number 1 pick overall, you got to take the payday. You got to set up your whole family forever. You're from Maine. You need the money.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I mean, no, he's a millionaire already.
Right. But he's not. The whole family isn't set up for life. You got to take care of your family.
But it's just nice to hear. Like he's saying, he's having fun. He wants to play here again. It's just
plays hard.
Yeah,
too, plays hard.
Constant. I've actually watched a few of the games, and I'm like, man, this guy really looks like a man amongst boys out there.
Yeah. So. And it's funny. The number 1 player in college basketball this year is from Maine. The number 1 player in college basketball next year is originally from Brockton.
Yes, that's right.
And then he committed to BYU. He's going to BYU for a year. I saw an interview with his father. Father seems really, really intelligent. He made that decision based on the coach at BYU. So he could potentially be the number 1 pick 2 years from now. So it's pretty cool.
And what is BYU in basketball?
They had Sean Bradley for 2 years. I don't. BYU's not much in basketball, but his father liked the coach, and I think he respected the coach, and he knew him from something else because I think he's playing at an academy right now, like his senior year.
Yeah,
and
in basketball, it doesn't really matter where you play anymore.
No,
with all the coverage back in the day, it would have mattered. Like, you go to BYU.
Yeah, John Morant went to Murray State, right?
Yeah,
so,
and nobody really knew him anyways until the tournament.
Yeah.
So.
Tore it up.
I don't think any of those big name colleges wanted him. Seems like kind of a
John Morant.
Yeah.
Great player, but kind of a
dope. But they all taking dopes, right?
Yeah, I know.
But I think they all missed. I don't know how they all missed, but they missed on Steph Curry too. Steph Curry went to Davidson.
But Steph Curry, if you remember
correctly,
very small,
weighed 145.
He's not the player that he turned into.
No, but he's better than Davidson.
Yeah.
You could have went to Virginia, right? You could have went somewhere.
But back then, he wasn't that player.
I know, but I'm not saying he had to go to Duke or North Carolina. There's Boston College. There's other teams above.
He had that Tom Brady mentality, though. Like, he's just going to work on his craft and get better.
Yeah, but he shot the lights out then, too. Like, how'd you not see this?
Jay Fields chimes in, there's no sex at BYU. And Ethan doubled down with none.
Yeah, it's not all guys there, is it?
No, but it's some kind of a...
It's a Mormon, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that back in the day, BYU people had to, like, play 2 years and then go away on a sabbatical or something.
Really?
That's what they had to do back in the day. That's why Sean Bradley got drafted a while after, because he had to do his year overseas or whatever. I hope this guy doesn't have to. Just do 1 year, get in the NBA, make your money.
Yeah.
That's what
I knew nothing about that.
Yeah. If you look it up, they that's why a lot of times they had guys a little bit older. Remember, Celtics drafted Michael Smith, and he was like 24 years old.
He went to BYU.
Went to BYU. Yeah.
I always get
had
like
a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Isn't that like with like if you play for Navy or Army?
I think Navy had something like that too, because David Robinson had to.
He had to go ship out
for a year or so.
So, a few little things that I wanted to get to that I found interesting. One, Joey Bosa, LA Chargers, they're going to release him to save $25 million.
Whoa!
And all I'm thinking is, I mean, there's nothing linking him to the Patriots at all, but I would love to see him every Sunday in a Patriot uniform. Yeah.
Yeah, you pick up a guy like that, and then you draft Carter at 3?
Right?
Well, maybe 4.
Yeah.
You don't have the third pick.
4?
Yeah, well, they're going to trade up one pick to get him.
Yeah. All right.
He's got some inside info.
Right. What do you know that we don't know, David?
I
What
keep
have you
forgetting
been
that
hearing?
they blew that first pick.
Remember he kept saying they had the 5th pick?
Yeah.
Remember that? I'm like, no, Dave. 4.
He just doesn't
Fourth or
like
fifth.
the
Yeah, he
fourth
doesn't
pick.
like the 5th
I don't like the 4th.
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
Those even numbers really get to him.
Yeah. So, that would be interesting. That all of a sudden changes your defense.
Yeah, I read that right before the show,
yeah.
and I'm like, ooh.
Immediately changes things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, would he want to go play with his brother?
That's what they're linked to. I guess that's what the mother said. She wants to get both boys together.
Pretty cool.
But
I mean, the McCourty brothers played together, right? You could see as brothers, you'd probably want to do that.
money talks.
Yeah, that's the problem, is trying to fit those two onto the Niners with all the money issues they already have.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's going to be up for a
Do
contract
you know that
soon.
the Bosa grandfather was a hitman for Al Capone?
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Look it up. He was like, or like a hitman for the mob or something. Look it up. Yeah.
You know what? If you look at the Boses, you can see that.
Oh, they're tough. Yeah, they look tough. They almost look like the Jokic brothers. They look, oh my god, those guys look scary. But yeah, if you look it up, there was some connection with either the mob or Al Capone. Their grandfather was like one of like the tough guys for him. Kind of makes sense. You see it in all the kids.
Interesting.
Another cool little thing that I read. Did you know about this Dustin May in the salad?
I saw it. I didn't read it. Tell me about it. Tell them about it.
So Dustin May,
Pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, stud.
Tommy John surgery,
Yep.
was getting ready to make his return. Went out actually after being on the field, just going through his training regimens, trying to get back on the field after the Tommy John. First bite of salad, a piece of lettuce got stuck in his throat.
Okay.
Not choking, it's just he felt it was stuck there, so he immediately grabbed some water, chugged it down,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it was like a lot of pain, like something was wrong, but the pain went away.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, we're fine. Goes home, getting ready for bed, and I guess the wife was like, on him, like, you need to go get checked out. Like, what just happened was weird.
Yeah.
Like, so finally, reluctantly, he got up and was like, all right, we'll go to the hospital. He goes in the hospital. They do a scan. They found out he tore his esophagus.
Oh, God.
And he was immediately rushed under the knife. Because I guess that can be fatal because your food mixing with your chest cavity.
Oh, God.
Like just the bacteria just from saliva in general.
Yeah.
So and I guess it was like 6 months recovery from this. Like he couldn't even lift anything over 10 pounds.
Don't eat salad. If there's a takeaway from this, stop eating salad.
What did he jam down?
It was just, it was such a freak thing. I was reading like the percentage numbers if something happened. It doesn't matter what you eat. It could be just whatever, but just the way that it got stuck and lodged in his throat, it was almost like a paper cut, Dave. When he drank the water and it wished it down, it was just like, like paper, like this simple little paper can cause the tiniest...
Let us see your finger, Dave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
An experiment,
Cause the tiniest cut. Next thing you know, you get MRSA or something like that, and you're in big trouble. But I guess that just cut his throat, and because your throat, it just opened it up. Wow. And he almost died. And they were like, that's what he said. He goes, if I was in bed, I was going to bed, he would have never woken up.
So my brother's friend in Florida, he has a buddy that's like a big, like tough, like biker guy, 6'5", like big dude. Went into the water in Florida. Must have had like a little cut on his toe. Didn't know.
Yeah.
And this is kind of similar to that. Didn't know. Goes home, and my brother's like, dude, he's like a tough guy. And all of a sudden, he wakes up in like a little bit of pain. No big deal. Goes back to bed. Wakes up in a lot of pain. Calls the ambulance. And he got some kind of infection through his toe. They cut off the majority of his leg.
Wow.
And my brother's like, dude, I'm never going in the water ever again. He's like, same thing, such a freak accident. What are the chances of that happening? He got bacteria through a toe cut.
Was he down in Florida?
Down in Florida. And the thing in Florida, the water never really gets cold, so the bacteria builds up.
Yep.
You know, and over here it gets cold, it gets warm, and the bacteria dies when it gets cold.
And a lot of times down in Florida, too, like a lot of the hurricane stirs up a lot of stuff that's in that water.
Yeah.
And it's like, I go to Florida every year to visit
Never
my
go in the
parents
water.
and everything. Even my parents are like, we don't even go to the beach anymore. Like, I don't bring the kids down there because now...
do it just to check out the chicks.
The problem is, a lot of the stuff is in the sands now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like your kids are playing in the sand. And I'm like, I can't keep my kids out of the sand and the beach. So we honestly don't even go.
Yeah.
And it's different with like a tropical island. I was actually reading up on this, and there was some literature like the tropical islands are a little bit more safe than because where it is in Florida, just it's like the perfect temperature of the water and the
bacteria
of it.
Just kind of hang in there.
Yeah, and they always have a lot of beach closures and everything down there. So yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. I don't mess with the ocean. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know how to swim to begin with, so
I love the
That's
ocean.
right. Every year we go over this. I always forget that you can't swim.
I can't swim. I got a buddy that I play pickleball with. He's 85 years old, and he swims with the Sharks. And he said, if you have a DVD player, I'll give you... I'm like, I don't think I have a DVD player, Freddie. But he's like, I got videos of me swimming with the Sharks.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Big shark guy.
Because he asked me, he's like, do you want to come swim? I'm like, Freddie, I don't even know how to swim.
Yeah.
And never mind swim with the Sharks.
I've swam with certain types of sharks.
Yeah.
Like whale sharks. That was probably the coolest thing I've ever done.
Really?
Those things are like the size of a
So
bus.
you get nervous holding a card show. Well, not even holding a card show, having a table. But you can swim with Sharks.
Yeah.
Weird. It's very weird.
I want to go in a cage with a great white.
Well, that's what he's like, we have a cage. It's like, I don't use the cage unless we see the Sharks coming.
Yeah.
And then we get in the cage.
So I've always wanted to do that, get in a cage, go great white. And I thought I might have sent you the video last year. I thought I did, but they were in the cage.
Great
in
white
the cage.
got in it.
Great white got in it.
Oh, fuck that.
Great white got in it, and they were screaming.
So what do you do then?
They end up getting out. It broke the whole thing down, and it was again a freak thing. And the cage, it just went right in the.
Yeah.
The hell with that. No way. No way.
Bucket list.
Yeah, bucket list. Yep.
Dying to do it.
I thought it was so safe. Stupid of me to think that it was so safe. But then to see that one instance was like, that could have happened. And when they were talking, they were surprised that this doesn't happen more. And I'm like, I'm never now doing this.
And Dave wants to do it. So he's nervous to sell a Rafael Devers rookie card, but he wants to do this.
He wants to pour the chum all over him.
I mean, we did the nurse sharks in the Dominican.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell Tina what nurse sharks were. She just assumed they were like the ones you see in those petting tanks at the aquarium.
I would have assumed that too.
So we go in, we're swimming out, we get the snorkels on, and we follow these people over to this penned in area, and we go over the little fence that they have, and she looks down, and then she looks up at me like, what the hell? They're 9-footers. They were huge, and I'm like,
and they don't attack humans?
No, nurse sharks don't. They're like bottom feeders.
They've never attacked humans until it happens.
Yeah, until it happens. I'm not playing that game.
It was
Dave
so
jumps in with the sausage.
Yeah.
To this day, she tells everyone, I thought we were going like these little, 2-footers and 10 feet long. It was awesome, though.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Barracuda.
Definitely not your thing. You can't swim.
Can't swim. Yeah. Can't swim. Can't be my thing.
No. Stick to pickleball.
Yeah, I like pickleball. Just gotta watch out for this quad injury.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
is that it? Is it?
I mean, we started, but we can
kind of, it's that time of year,
The times after the All-Star games is the slowest sports times. People complain about August. No, we could talk baseball forever.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about.
And football's right around the corner, so you're already revved up.
This is
Yeah.
Basketball and hockey playoffs are still a couple months away.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's just pickleball and swimming with sharks.
Yep. Yeah. And we got baseball starting. So you got the Dodgers versus Cubs tomorrow, spring training. And then Red Sox play Northeastern, I believe, on Friday. Royals on Saturday. Blue Jays on Sunday. Garrett Crochet pitching on Sunday versus the Blue Jays.
And we just lost everybody.
And everyone's like, all right, we're out. So on that note, we are out of here. We'll see you next week at 6 p.m. Go check out Dave and his anxiety this Sunday.